get ready with me while I tell you how you can also break into the acting and modeling world. Okay. All right, well, to start, I'm still very much on my acting and modeling journey, but if you're wanting to get into it, then I'm a good step ahead of you, and I can tell you the things that I did that worked. Today, I am auditioning for this character that I'm really excited about. Luckily, they sent me this a few days ago, so step number one, if you want to get into acting and modeling, would be to find an agency near you. I personally think taking this route is just the best way to get your foot in the door and start building some solid connections. Just Google agencies. You'll never have to pay for an agency, so just keep that in mind that sometimes there are people who want to scam. So another thing is to know that acting and modeling are very different and they're very different worlds. Definitely get involved in both, but definitely do your research to figure out which one you're maybe more interested in or which one you want to break into first. Next thing I would say, once you decide which route you want to go, you're going to need headshots, or you're going to need a modeling comp card, or you're going to need modeling shots. Shots are going to be different than actors' headshots. They are very, very different. So you're going to want to find a photographer that specializes in one of those two things, especially headshots. Like, not anyone can take a headshot, but there's always, I've found that there are plenty of people who take actors' headshots or specialize in modeling work. Okay, now let's say you have a good headshot, you have an agency, or you're deciding on an agency. The next thing I would really recommend doing is creating an Actors Access or a Backstage. These are platforms that you can actually use to self-submit yourself, so you don't even have to wait for an agency. However, their agencies do have a portal where they can see more than you can, so that's where like having an agent comes in clutch. Also, just like an agent is going to like fight on your behalf for roles and submit you to stuff and hopefully be working more in your favor than just you. Also, they're gonna have way more connections. My next tip is that you're gonna get as much out of acting or modeling as you put into it. Even if you have an amazing agent, it's never gonna be solely up to them on how busy and how booked you are. You need to be self-submitting, making connections, and all of that stuff, because even if your agency is absolutely amazing, which I love my agency, they're absolutely amazing, but they're never going to, you're not their only client. Which means if you want it done, like, you have to get in there and make connections, submit yourself to roles, and that kind of stuff. Going off of that tip, I would suggest getting involved in acting courses, getting an acting coach, doing something that's progressively going to make you better. For instance, I have an acting coach